I've really been trying to draw more, so this is a video of the drawings that I've been out and about doing during August. This was a quick 4-minute sketch of a building in our local village. We were waiting for a table to come free in a tea shop, which we then progressed to, and it was really lovely to be able to sit and draw after lunch when the place had emptied, and they've got a picture of the village painted on the counter, so that made this little bit area here quite surreal with the street scene in. And I also tried to draw the people that were serving in the kitchen, the waitresses, this idea of what's fixed and static and what's moving, and they were there in the kitchen moving and changing position all the time. And we had a day out walking around Trimley and Felixstowe, and this was a really lovely arrangement of fields in the car, just outside where the car, and we stopped and did this one, and we were sat in a bird hide which was right up in the treetops, so it was good to look out over the marshes. And what I've been trying to do, this was after I'd been to the Fry Gallery, so I was trying to experiment with gouache and opaque watercolours. This was a really wet bank holiday Monday, and again sitting in a bird hide, which isn't my favourite occupation, but I discovered that if I was ready for it, wrapped up warm, and had got all of my equipment, I was quite happy to do it. And actually I sat there longer than Clive. He was ready to go and he had to wait for me in the end. This was pages from the news, and a picture from a newspaper, and I tried to this was the first picture that I did, and I tried to push it on and move it and do it in different ways. As a page of drawings, I think it's terrible, but from what I've been reading this morning, it's reminded me that you can't be perfect all the time, and just learning and doing is the way to get better. This one I went with a friend drawing in a local town, and we went up to the castle, and up here I did a little thumbnail sketch to start with to get the proportions right and decide what I wanted to include in the picture. But again, that was trying to work with gouache. I had it better than this and then lost it. I overworked it, so I'm afraid I resorted to the black pen, but I tried to be really free with the pen, and hopefully that has enhanced it and not been too much of a cheat. This one was when I was staying down with my mum and my brother. We needed to take my mum out for the afternoon and get some peace and quiet, so I took her to Rye, and we sat in the car and drew the buildings, and I just loved these black weatherboarded the old warehouse buildings with their yellow lichen roofs. So that was a good. So again, that was only about just over an hour or so that we did those. So yeah, quite. That was all right. This one was some fungi that are in the garden. So again, just trying to get to know them and to draw them in different ways, and using. I've made up a pencil bag to just take out and about with me, and my favourite bit in it is the mucky stuff. It's not the biros and the pens, it's the chalks and the tricky bits. And again, these were acorns and beech nuts and things that I picked up and collected, so I'm just doing some sketches of those. And this was a little quote that I came across while I was at Gainsborough's house. Do you want it good or do you want it Tuesday? I just really enjoyed that. These are my September sketches. This is one that I did at Gainsborough's house. Michael Carlo was showing people how he was using Vaseline in his sketchbook instead of fixative, which it seals the picture, but it also makes a resist, so that you can then go over the picture with some ink, and it'll block off the areas. And Michael's sketchbooks were just stunning. I love them, and he makes his own sketchbooks too, which is he said he sort of treats them with more reverence when he's done that. So yeah, they were quite an inspiration. This was a picture I just went out in the garden and drew at lunchtime, and it's significant for me because I took my mum and dad there a few years ago, and I've got photographs of them both sitting on this bench together in the garden. And of course now Dad no longer actually with us, and Mum mentally no longer with us. So and it got this pear tree behind it with all the pears out, and I realised after a couple of days that the pears actually look like teardrops as well. So yeah, a bit of an emotional picture for me, that one. And this was just scribbling and playing with the idea of Vaseline in the sketchbook. I've also spent some time in the last month trying to get to know and to draw our ducks, which have sadly now left us, which I suppose is what happens to ducks, but we really enjoyed having them around, and I got to know them well, so hopefully some of that's sunk in mentally as well. But they were actually incredibly difficult to draw because they just are on the move all the time, although because there were so many of them you could usually find one of them in the right position that you wanted.